and over, topping, under the mark, over and over, over and over. But I've learned how to laugh in spite of it all. And now I'm thankful. Yes, I'm thankful.
Quite the song choice, Dunk.
I'll be honest, that was not the one I had planned. I accidentally must have pressed the next song and pressed play.
I was turning,
no,
like
it's
teary
fine.
almost.
Fine,
but
fine song.
The other one was a lot more upbeat.
Yeah.
That was the song. Maybe that's the song of the weekend for the Leafs. You know, a little bit of an emotional one.
Maybe a little bit.
I was emotional. I apologize.
You just nailed it. You nailed it.
Yeah. What is that song?
It's called I Am You.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, we're back with another episode with that intro, and we're a little.
I got a really upbeat one down the road.
Maybe just throw that on a little bit now. Just give us a little. Give us just tiny.
Do we want to tease
juice?
it for?
Or do you want to save it? You think it's real good?
Yeah. Well, you
Like
heard it before there.
Well, I thought that's for our something down the road here.
Yeah, that's what
episode.
I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll get to that.
Okay.
So we are a little bit revamped here. We got some new things going on. We're gonna start with this. Is something we did a while back, and I really enjoyed it. I think listeners enjoyed it too. It's our little vocab game. We find a word that's not a common word, and I think all of us could use a little bit of widening our
Horizons.
Vocabulary.
variety of words.
Everything.
Yeah. So we each have a word, and I'll give Matt a word. Matt will give Dunk a word, and Dunk will give me a word that we have to fit into a sentence at some point during the podcast. So we'll see how it goes. Dunk, do you wanna lead us off with your word?
And this is for you?
This is for me, so I'm gonna write it down so I remember.
The word is apparatus.
Okay. I know that one.
That's the most Dunk word I've ever seen.
Yeah. You don't need to tell me what it means. I know what that one means.
Can we get a definition in case anyone doesn't know?
Well, I don't have the Webster's dictionary in front of me, but
Webby, yeah.
it's like a intricate like tool or
I'll work it in.
something to that nature.
Yeah, it's
Not necessarily a tool,
But I
but
think maybe just look up the definition maybe quick. I'll give Matt mine. This is one I hadn't heard before, and it's a short word. It's just pithy.
Pithy.
Pithy. Pithy.
Pithy.
Yeah.
Pithy.
And the definition of pithy is as usual, or sorry, it's now I lost it here. It is concise and forceful, expressive.
Okay. Forceful, expressive?
Concise and forceful, expressive, but usually it'd be like that was pithy. Like someone would be like if someone has like a quick witty comment.
Yeah.
And
I like
then-
that we just have like a couple moments to like quickly write down a word or two about the word, and then
Yeah.
it's brewing already.
Well, I think you gotta like. I think it's more of like a reply to something. This pithy. It's like that was pithy.
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
I don't know.
No, I'm not worried about it. Pithy.
Yeah.
I got the definition for
ready for it.
apparatus
Okay,
if you need.
Yeah, read it out.
A technical equipment or machinery needed for a particular activity or purpose.
Okay. Yep. About as what you'd expect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And your word, Dunk, is benevolent, well-meaning and kindly. An example, that is a benevolent smile.
Okay, could you pass the pencil?
Here you go.
Benevolent.
Could you spell it?
Ben, Ev, O, Lent.
All right, I think
There
I
she
got
be.
it.
So the boys got to use each word at least once by the time the epi is over. I think that was like even way back in year one, roughly, when
Could have
we
been.
were doing that. So it's been a couple of years where we haven't been necessarily expanding our vocab, but I'm ready for it.
Yep.
I don't know enough words. I feel like I use the same words all the time. Just
Yeah.
put me on shuffle.
I'd say I got a decent vocab.
It's decent. It used to be better. I feel like when you were younger.
Yeah, I guess I just
think
stopped
you-
advancing.
Yeah,
I think you lost it a little bit
Slang City.
because I forget we were walking a couple weeks ago, and I said something that I had to explain to you what it meant. That's when I really realized that I think the tides turned a little bit.
I remember walking, and I remember thinking that, but I have no idea what the word was.
I don't remember either, but it's a good one for sure. What's something else I was saying recently? I think legit.
I remember when I found out, I didn't know what legit meant.
Really?
Well, no, like this is like younger years.
Okay.
But I would say like maybe even like high school, and I didn't know what legit meant. And everyone used to always say legit. So I was like, what I don't even know what that means. I remember when that one came out. And then I started using it all the time, and now I say it on a regular basis, potentially.
A regular basis, potentially.
Like depending on the conversation.
Right.
You don't necessarily need to say it all the time.
No, it's an easy one to work in though.
I remember, I was like, legit.
I'd say that's a
legit?
fairly common word now.
It is. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I was in high school, and I was like legit.
people like cool people say that if you're like, so the Leafs really got to get it going, eh? And be like, legit, bro, legit. God, you guys have never heard people say that?
Well,
Yeah, but
People just like that's like there's instead of saying they'll say legit.
have you heard people that just say like bet after everything?
Yeah, it's
like,
the same as that's the same like legit and bet. They would use it in the same.
like I'm gonna go get a beer. Oh, bet.
I remember that when
or legit, bro.
like going back to Vine days. That's legitness.
I know what you're talking about there.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, it was, young days, young minds. It's easy to forget.
Yeah,
Vine days, though. I remember that.
Good times.
That's legitness.
I never got in on the vines.
No, I had the app, but anyway, we're November 15th today. Boys,
14? Oh, 15.
15.
Yep.
the days are flying by. I cannot believe we're halfway through November already. It's crazy that we're already getting to that time, but it was a great weekend. Lots happened football-wise, hockey-wise. Want to start off with, what happened to you personally? Let's start off with that. What happened to you personally this week?
For me,
Yeah.
it was my first full week back at work, so that was good. It was weird because it felt like nothing really changed. Like I was gone for 5 weeks, which is a good chunk of time. I wasn't in Canada at all in the month of October. So I missed a good chunk of life, it feels like, or not necessarily life, but a good chunk of time. And I just went back to work, and it felt like everything. There was one guy. There's one guy that had started when I left that I met. Other than that, though, it just felt like everything's the complete same at work and really life back here. So it's a weird thing to think about when you like take yourself out of an area you've known forever, and you're just gone for 5 weeks traveling, doing whatever, and then when you come back and
Nothing's changed.
and nothing's really changed, it's like kind of a weird feeling. But work this week was a good week. I thought I was going to be gassed after, but I was good, and starting a new week today too, so should be good.
True.
Interesting thing that's happened in Linwood, and this will maybe tell you how much exciting stuff goes on in Linwood, but there's I got rabbits. I got a rabbit issue. I don't know if it's an issue.
No, it's more of
A hobby.
I think it's more of like
an experience.
well, no
Experience,
no.
I think.
An experience for you, but maybe more so of like looking for a home for the rabbits.
Well, I think
your property
but
is a home
I think it is too.
for 3 non-wild.
So I should
but
start
free rabbits.
I should start from the top here. So since I got back, pretty much every night, if I get home late or whenever the sun goes down, anytime I've been outside, whenever the sun goes down since I got home, I saw these three rabbits on the lawn.
Bunnies, even.
Bunnies, I would say. Yeah. What's the difference?
I don't know.
Isn't Bunny just like younger?
Maybe.
So
I picture bunnies being more of like a pet.
me too, but aren't they just bunny rabbits? Isn't
I don't
that
think that's the scientific term.
what
but
it? Like I don't know the difference between a bunny and a rabbit.
Well, I think rabbits
Maybe look that up.
are more pithy. Like they're more like aggressive, like just like jogging around all the time. Like you can't even get close to these things. These rabbits that you have in your house, or not in your house, and your property,
Yeah.
you can get so close to them without them doing anything.
Yeah,
Like
Dunk, do you have the is there anything on the board here that's
that's
an
what-
X? That's an X? I think that X is for the way you use pithy.
How?
I don't think that's correct. I don't think you can say the rabbits. Did you say the rabbits
are more pithy than bunnies?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you say they're more like forceful with what they do?
Okay,
like,
but I think maybe it's up in the air.
Like
it's up in the air.
If you look at a wild rabbit, that thing is halfway across the country.
Yeah.
Like they're more pithy.
I think pithy's more of a, like somebody says a statement, and then that was pithy.
No, it's just a statement move by the rabbits, though, to be like, hey.
Okay.
This ain't for me.
Sure, we'll give it to you.
But
I'll
work on it.
But these
you might hear more than one time this episode. I wouldn't say I love the example, but I would if it came down to it, I would say that rabbits are more pithy than bunnies.
Yeah.
It's just saying here that bunny is another name for a rabbit.
Okay.
Usually indicating a young rabbit.
Okay. Well then, these maybe are bunnies then. They're definitely they're definitely owned by another human being in town, and so I saw them these 3 nights. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I would get close to them. I have yet to touch them. They run away when you're right there, but
They don't really run though.
No, they just kind of wobble, or like not wobble. They they do hop. That's confirmed. They're bunnies, but they don't go fast. It's more of like just bounce away a little bit.
Yeah.
Out of reach. And then, but I found out from my neighbor who one day was outside, and this is the only time I've seen him in daylight. It was after I got home from work one day. My neighbor's outside with his dog, and he's got a rather large dog. It's a scary looking thing. Really nice dog, but scary looking dog.
He is a big boy.
If you're just looking at him.
Phantom.
And Phantom's the name. Great name. So he's got him on a leash, and he's like holding him back a little bit. And this is a big boy. I'm like, and I saw the bunnies as well. So I asked him, like, is that because the bunnies? He's like, yeah, they're always out here. I'm like, do you know whose they are? And he pointed a few houses down. So I think these bunnies are just free range of Linwood.
Has that dog had any interaction with the rabbits?
I not touched them. If he gets a hold of them ever, it's
those rabbits would be gone.
Game over.
Those things hardly move.
And so I do fully expect someday to see these bunnies. I probably won't see them, but I assume I will stop seeing them come around.
Yeah.
And I assume I know why, because they have to go through this dog's lawn to get to my lawn, and there's something about my lawn they like. So.
Yeah, there is. Well, honestly, the first night when you sent the snap, I was like, that's an anomaly. Like, that's not going to happen again. Like,
every night.
What are the odds you get that close to a rabbit? I've never been that close to a rabbit.
And
they were there I've seen them. I was at your house twice this week, and I think I've seen them both times I was there.
Yeah, and so these, I have been noticing a lot of bunny shit around the property. And my question to Dunk, you got a bit of, you know your stuff when it comes to farming a little bit.
A little bit.
And just like planet Earth more so.
Sure.
These bunny turds all around my lawn. Can I swing that in a way that somehow it'll help strengthen the nutrients in my lawn?
I think it will just naturally.
Perfect.
Manure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't want to touch them.
As long as they don't like eat all the grass in your yard, then that kind of...
Basically...
Yeah, you don't want them to be too pithy.
Basically, I'm just... Basically, I'm just waiting for Jill to, like, if she ever sees it and she asks me to start cleaning it up, I want something to say that I don't have to clean it up.
Good for your lawn.
There we go. Okay, perfect. We'll clip that. We got hopefully possibly a video coming out of this one. You'll see if there is a video, and if there's not, then you won't see it. Funny how that works.
Seeing is believing.
That's true. And this is the last thing that I had a thought about this week that I wanted to bring up, and I have brought it up outside of the pod, but I want to bring it on here for other people's opinions too. Dunk and I thought about this on the trip somehow. I don't know why it came up, but Dunk and I...
Is this what was supposed to happen last week?
Yeah, I meant to say this last week.
Yes.
Never said it on the pod, and I'm going to say it now. I want to say about 10 to 12 years ago, somewhere in that range, Dunk and I buried a treasure...
A time capsule.
In a wooden box. Mm-hmm. And you think you remember maybe some of the stuff we put in, which I find hard to believe because I think you were like... I think you were like 8 years old.
Yeah. I know I buried a different one with
our cousin. Okay. But anyways, so this box, I don't know what's in it for sure. I want to know if Dunk and I should try to find this box, dig it up, or do you just let life take its course and maybe some year, like who knows, maybe 35 years down the road,
So from
maybe
an
100 years down the road, somebody finds that thing.
I was gonna say, from an outside perspective, I feel like you guys are too young to open it up. Like your childhood isn't that long ago.
That's what I'm wondering.
The big question here is: are you two Nimrods gonna have the mental capacity to remember this like 20 or 30 years down the road?
No.
High
Here's
chance. No.
an idea.
Yeah.
I don't think our time capsule building skills were too high, and I'm worried about rot. So we could, if we can find it, and just like put it in a fruit cellar or something.
A fruit cellar.
Somewhere dry that it's not going to rot,
Okay.
and then it's not lost. And then we just wonder,
but
and then
we
we
had-
just see it someday.
It's found.
Or we just open it, like whatever.
Well, yeah. See, that's what
It's been like 10 or 15 years. So.
and definitely lots changed. The few things in my mind that I think I remember putting in was like maybe some hockey cards for sure, and
I think a couple pictures.
pictures of some sort, and we definitely put in some change, like some toonies and loonies, because we were probably like, wow, 500 years
Could
when
use
somebody
that.
finds this, they're gonna be like, whoa, a toonie and a loony, because they'll be so far gone by the cash won't even be a thing by then, right? And 500
Looney
years.
Toonie?
I think
like a $2 toonie will probably be worth like $20 or more. You never know.
In
Well,
how
yeah,
many
that
years?
Well, we still have toonies though.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah, they'll probably not be that valuable 20 years from now.
no.
Yeah, no,
We'll probably still be using those.
I think
heifers.
I first said 500 years is what was my first
five-
statement.
oh.
But
There's no way that box lasts that long. It's a wooden, it'll just turn into soil.
yeah,
My great grandson
Yeah.
yeah,
will find this.
could even be some more greats in there, I think.
But if you had to bury one thing today that was important to you and like was just like how do you put this? So like an object of yourself in a way.
Right.
If you had to bury one item right now, you got 15 seconds to answer,
Okay.
or you're done.
Okay, or
are
I
you
don't
burying?
get to bury it.
No, you're. It's just like a pressure thing.
One
here,
thing,
like you're
one
done.
thing on me, it'd probably be a baseball that I caught at a sporting event.
It's a good one.
That is a good one.
It's just going to say like a fishing reel or something.
Nice.
I don't know.
What about you?
Yeah.
Just a Bud Light.
Possibly a mini stick.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I still got, or
the
maybe my
oldest
first
one you
ever
can find, I hope,
Yeah.
because mini sticks are getting pretty crazy these days.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't hear anything about mini sticks anymore.
Well, the kids are still playing. Don't get me
At
wrong.
hockey tournaments and stuff too.
in the
I
hallways.
would assume
I would
so.
hope so.
I don't know about that, but I know the kids
Yeah.
are still playing mini sticks. But their mini sticks are insane.
Yeah, they're just.
They're
like,
not putting those things over stovetops to curve them anymore.
remember-
No,
doing
they're
that
just
at
buying
Paul's
a
house.
fiberglass mini stick.
Oh
now.
yeah, they're more expensive than any hockey stick we used when we actually played.
Yeah, but anyway.
I guess the only other thing I had was that Matt and I played hockey together for the first
Yes,
time,
that was yes.
and I would say about 5 years
In an organized game.
in an organized game.
Oh man.
Well, I'm counting like I guess we played in like a beer league, but that was more rec. This was like an organized game with refs in our Thursday night league we play.
yeah.
But it's been more than 5 years if you say organized game. It's probably like Adam AE.
Yeah. So
Or
this is
no,
what
not
I
Adam
need to
Rep.
ask.
Adam Rep.
Pressure's on right now. Obviously, you've been playing hockey more recent than me. This is kind of my first time getting back into it. What is my best strength out there, and what is the thing I need to work on the most?
Well, I think it's just you've played 4 games in that league and you've scored 3 of the games. Matt actually scored last game and I didn't. I know that'll be a shock to
Yeah.
most. But it was
It was plus 350 too. So
plus 350 anytime goal score.
yeah.
Yeah, I had you at over 1.5, so that didn't hit. But you go to the net. You go to the net hard. Stick on the ice. That's your
all I know
best.
how to do.
That's your best attribute. You're positioned well in the ozone.
Oh yeah.
Feels like you haven't lost your knack to go to the net.
Yeah. No, I feel like the IQ's there sometimes, but like the skill, even just like doing little things,
Yeah, I mean, I
and
don't.
my timing too. Like I'm just every time I get the puck, I just always assume someone's like right on my arse.
Yeah, well, that's just maybe your negative right now would be your confidence level, because there's nobody right on your arse most times.
Yeah. I do have.
I would just get rid of the puck immediately.
Like,
That's
I
what
know
he
I'm
does,
dust.
yeah.
That's the thing. That's
You're
what I
not
do.
you're not that dust.
But for you, I've already been thinking about yours.
Oh, okay.
You know, I was
yeah.
thinking about this during the workday today.
Yeah.
Your acceleration, I noticed.
Oh, it's gone.
Like you still have your stamina and like your speed is there.
No.
But like your initial acceleration.
Yeah.
That's to me that like, last game when I was watching you out there.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. Yeah, he just needs that quick jump, and then you're right in every play. Because once you're in the play, you know you're a hard guy to beat.
Yeah. No, my speed was never.
Speed is there.
No, speed was never a thing.
Acceleration. It's just like getting to that full speed.
Yeah, well, since you probably hadn't really watched me play hockey since I was playing junior, and my body type's a lot different than it was at that time. So that I would say is probably the main factor. Mm-hmm. But I'll work on my acceleration.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
And your best thing, you protect the puck well, I thought.
Yep. Big bod now.
Big bod.
So you can fend. I'm the Yammer Yager in the corners. He was the best. He was the best of all time at doing that. What about you?
What about me?
What about your life this past week? What happened? Anything exciting?
Nothing crazy. It was a busy week, just with some dinners and stuff. But the weekend, man, great weekend. First of all, just like lots of fun doing stuff. Shout out to Lou Baby. We went up to Lou Baby's place there.
Yep, Friday night.
But man, seeing the things on Friday and Saturday night for the Leaf game, that was like, I don't know. For me, that was just like, because I didn't really know, obviously, like we didn't watch Borje play.
Yep.
But man, I just found myself just like, I don't know.
He's a hero.
It was hard to describe. It was like, I almost felt emotional. Just like,
yeah, I didn't watch the Friday night one live.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, obviously we were together, but
yeah, but the Saturday night one we did see live.
Yeah,
we did.
But
he was
I
dropping
just thought
the puck.
that was even just like when you see like the emotions on like Daryl Siller, the fact that that guy, like he was on like 2 or 3 different interviews over the weekend.
Yeah,
he couldn't even get through an interview without crying. Yeah, I just think that that was just a huge weekend for the Leafs, I thought, and obviously I couldn't imagine what Borje has to go through with ALS, but I never really put like that much respect on Borge's name wearing a Leaf just because I didn't really know anything about him. No. But seeing the tribute and just like hearing what he did, and especially for all those Swedes,
and they had like
that was real special.
They had like a video tribute before too from ex-players that were playing against him too, and they said like since he was one of the first European, definitely one of the first Swedish, I think maybe the second Swede to ever play. I hope I don't have that wrong.
I think he was the first
Swede in the NHL. Yeah, is that right?
I think so. Yeah,
I know it.
Yeah, because the Leaf scout guy went over there, watched Borje play, and basically asked him, how would you like to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Yeah. And he was the first Swede to come over then.
Yeah, and so that's why you saw it, and it was really cool. The Leafs started 5 Swedes in their Saturday night game.
Shout out to Sheldon.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Sheldon, and shame on Bruce for not throwing the Swedes out there on the Nucks.
I know.
That's classic Nucks.
They didn't
thing,
have
though.
5, but
they had 3 at least.
I think they even had 4.
So just start 4 then if you really want to respect the great.
I know, and like if Pierre's going to be out there,
then... exactly. If we're putting Pierre out, then surely you can start as 4. He scored, I guess. Shout out Paul Poole for loving Pierre.
Yeah. Anyway, that was to me that was I don't know. That was just like really special. Just I feel like I haven't really been like that connected to like the Leafs that much or whatever in a way this year. And to me, that just like went to show what players do mean to the city. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. For me, that was just a big standout this weekend. But yeah, I don't know. Love it. I love seeing them out there. Mm-hmm. Matt Sundin too. Yep. Love seeing those guys.
Yeah, and they had a Sundin versus Lindros game. I think maybe today or yesterday. Like during the day, just on the.
Why don't I know about this stuff? Like that's the type of shit I should be watching.
Yeah, I don't know where I saw for sure, but I saw Spezza and Sundin were on a line together, and people were saying
that was. I thought that was like from something past.
No, that was just happening.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Spezza was. Oh wow.
So I don't know what the game was like or anything. I think it might have been. It was either today or yesterday.
Yeah,
afternoon.
I think that was yesterday.
Yeah. So
on Sunday. Yeah.
So should we transition into our new segment, Power Rankings?
Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
It's a Elite 5 for each of us. We don't know what each other's are.
No.
They're going to be a wide array of things. Dunk's going to get us some tunes going.
Yeah, are you ready for that?
Yeah, and who's going first here?
Do we want to do 5-1 and then 5-1? Or do we want to go back and forth?
we can go back and forth.
Okay. I can go first.
All right.
Yep. I'm ready.
Hit it, Dunk. Go ahead.
All right. Number 5 on Matty Poulos Power Rankings this week. We're going to start off with a guy who scored his first goal for this organization on the weekend. I think it was the game-winning goal on Saturday night. I believe it was, the third goal of the game. Jordy Ben, first game as a Leaf,
Legend.
First goal as a Leaf. Leafs needed that one to get over the hump there that night. Started off slow. Came back, beat Vancouver 3-2. Jordy Ben is my 5th guy on my power rankings this week.
Number 5 on my power rankings is the city of Las Vegas. The city of Las Vegas is hosting a spring training series between the Oakland A's and the Cincinnati Reds, which are two teams that don't exactly have the best fan base in the world. So we could be seeing a team come to Las Vegas. That's why they're number 5 on my power rankings. Hockey and football has been a big success in Vegas. I think they do great with a MLB team, and that would be fun for us to nail that one off our list too. So Vegas,
that would be fun.
The city of Las Vegas is number 5 on my weekly power rankings.
All right. Number 4. This one's a little bit controversial in way. Not controversial, but there will be haters out there for this one for sure. This is an NFL quarterback this past week. 147 rush yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 167 passing yards the week before, 178 rush yards, 3 passing TDs. Justin Fields has unfortunately led up the NFL the last couple weeks. I don't think they've got wins in either of those games, but
Which
for
is what they
the amount
want.
of shit Justin Field has took over the internet on the last 2 or 3 years, you do have to give props to him because he's looking Lamar-ish out there, like 147 and 178 rush yards as a quarterback the last couple games. He usually, if a running back gets 100 yards a game, that's a great game. So Justin Fields, Chicago Bears, number 4.
My number 4 is Kodia Sangaya. He is a 29-year-old free agent pitcher looking to sign in the MLB this year. He's known to want to sign with a contender and in a big market, both of which the Jays are, definitely. He throws a pitch that's been called the Ghost Fork, which I've never heard of and just sounds awesome.
Fork.
The Ghost Fork, which is a fork ball. I actually watched a few videos on this pitch, and it is definitely a Ghost Fork. That's all I can say about that. But he pairs that Ghost Fork up with a fastball that is topped 102 miles per hour. He might be the answer the Toronto Blue Jays are looking for, and he's going to be getting paid a lot in the next couple weeks. That's why Kodia Sangaya is number 4 on my power rankings this week.
Love it. Number 3 this week. We're going to the NHL here. We're going with a team on a 9-game win streak. Their first 9-game win streak since 2007. The New Jersey Devils have been tearing up the league the last 3 weeks. Tatar and Hischier, 2 of the hottest guys on the team for them, 7-game point streaks. Dougie Hamilton has like a 4-game power play point streak or something. So with that, 4 power play goals in the last 4 games, 1 each night. The New Jersey Devils, I haven't even heard a lick about him. Like, I had no idea they were even on this win streak
Jesper
today.
Bratt.
And he's been a big guy too for them. I haven't really heard a lick about New Jersey this year. I kind of thought they were going to start being a good team a couple of years ago, but at this point in the season, is New Jersey, in your opinion, a real deal or a fraud?
Jury's still out. I don't want to make an opinion at this time.
Okay, no. Dunk, real deal or fraud?
They're just getting lucky for a bit here.
All right.
That's probably the most likely actual
Fraudulent.
scenario, I would say. So New Jersey Devils are your number 3?
Yep.
My number 3 is Snow. Snow cracks number 3 on my list. And say what you want about Snow, but there's something about the first couple times a year where the snow falls. And I'm going to relate this back to sports in a second. But there's a couple times this start of the year where the snow falls and it's hitting your shoulders, it's hitting your face, you're walking through it, and you're just like, you know what, this is kind of nice. I don't hate snow.
It's a bit of a benevolent feeling for myself.
I like that. We'll all hate snow. We'll all hate snow soon. Don't get me wrong, but it's really nice. And if you cheer for chaos in sports like I do, having snow as a possibility for an NFL football game is what just fires me up.
Yeah.
And I think there was a game on Sunday that got not a lot, but I think it might. I forget where it was.
Yeah, on the East Coast, I think. I can't remember where it was.
Or no, Buffalo. Buffalo had a bit.
Oh, yeah. Well,
against the Vikings. Buffalo had a bit.
Yeah.
And that was also the game of the year. But snow is my number 3 on the power rankings this week.
Love it. Number 2 here, going back to that Bills-Vikings game, second on my power rankings, Justin Jefferson. Vikings were down 10 going into that fourth quarter. Jefferson made unreal plays all game, finished with 10 receptions, a TD, 193 yards, clutch catches, and again, down 10 going into that final corner. The Vikings are one of those teams that have kind of been called frauds all year long. Now they are 8-1. They just beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo in a dramatic game. Justin Jefferson, second on this week's power rankings.
I like that, but this guy is number 3 on mine, and he is Keith Petrosili. You may not know the name Keith Petrosili, but he's been the backup goalie sitting on the Leafs bench for the past week, which is why he is my number 3. And what you need to know about Keith Petrosili is the Leafs goalies are all getting healthy. Matt Murray is back officially. Samsonov very soon, later this week. He's supposed to be back.
Really? That's sick.
So when that happens, and Joseph Woll also returned to the Marlies, and Sahlgren will be going back down to the Marlies, this is the week that Petrosili had. Or this is the year he's had so far. He got called up to the AHL when Woll got injured and Sahlgren got called up. He went 6-0 with the Marlies. Signed an NHL deal, came up to the Leafs for 5 or 6 games, sat on the bench for all of them. Then he's going to, instead of going down to the AHL, he's going to be sent straight to the ECHL.
Really?
Yeah, because Woll and Sahlgren.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So what a year he's had, but he had an awesome 6 days on the bench. So Keith Petrosili, number 3.
So you know that the goalie the Leafs signed, McKay?
No.
He's out of university somewhere. So he's the Marley starting goalie right now. So they're going to, there's just going to be a wild domino effect for Leafs
So
goalies.
whoever the starting goalies are right now for the Newfoundland Growlers, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You guys are.
Where are they going?
They're the end of the line. They're in a tough spot.
On that, before I say my number 1, I did write down an honorable mention.
Okay.
Sahlgren, being the first goalie this year to start back-to-back games on back-to-back nights.
Yeah, and got 3 of a possible 4 points.
Yeah, so Sahlgren, honorable mention this week. But number 1, we already touched on this guy, but after the weekend we've seen in Toronto there at Scotiabank Arena, I don't know how Borje Salming isn't on anyone's number 1 power ranking this week. You could just see the emotion on his face. The all-time leading D-man in Toronto, 768 points, 1,999 games, over 1,300 PIMs. We've seen how he got described, how he played the game. That guy is a winner. He plays the game tougher than what most guys will ever play the game.
I knew that would be your number 1, so I veered off that path, and I picked my quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. And this is not because he is first in almost every QB stat you can think of. It's not because he's being talked about as a top 3 MVP candidate right now. I don't care about any of that. I'll save it for the Dimes episode. It's because he was mic'd up for the 39-17 win against the Cleveland Browns, who were shit, by the way.
He was mic'd up.
He was mic'd up, and and the Dolphins tweeted that he was mic'd up after the game. He quote tweeted it this morning and said, "Hope y'all censored a lot that was said this game. It's going to be wild." So Tua.
Really?
That's why he's number 1 on the power rankings, because we got a potty mouth Tua.
Yeah. I did have the Dolphins as an honorable mention, just purely because the Bills have been this juggernaut, Super Bowl favorite all year long. The Miami Dolphins currently are first place
of the AFC East.
AFC East.
Not a lot of people are talking about it.
You do have to give respect where respect is due.
Appreciate it.
The Miami Dolphins, again, I still believe the Bills will overcome that, but the Dolphins, who would have thought? Like, what could you ask for anything more? 10 weeks in, and the Miami Dolphins are first place.
Yeah, you can't ask for anything more than that. And producer Dunk's leaving us. He's got obligations, so peace to Dunk.
Yep.
Are you heading over to the producer table for our last few minutes?
Yeah.
Just in case anything happens with our technology. But yeah, we're just breaking shit as you go here. But we're How was our power rankings? We're gonna get this all. We'll get it all nailed down a little bit more too, and we have a guest confirmed. Probably not going to be in next week's episode, but the week after for sure. It's confirmed. I got a phone call today. He requests a time. He really wants to get it done. It's the one we've been teasing. I'm excited about it, and we're going to interview him next week. So it'll probably be in the podcast the week later. So you can get excited for that if you're some of the people that have been missing out on the guest. I know there are people like that, and we're going to try to get some of those back in. But yeah, next week or 2 weeks for sure we'll have, and maybe next week too.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. It's been, I don't know how much of a mystery it is, but I feel like when people hear us get this excited about someone, that usually only mean it can be one person. So
yep, yeah, there has been a constant throughout the time we've been doing interviews, and this guy is certainly it, and he's I think it's safe to say a best friend of both of ours at this point. So he'll be back. Be ready for him.
Be ready.
Yeah.
And one other thing, how weird is this? I just noticed this today. It's football related in a little way, but it's still something that you don't really see too often. The Chargers back-to-back Sunday night football games. What? They play this week again. Against Kansas Sunday night. So I think
maybe back-to-back Sunday night.
If they had to do a shitty power rankings, whoever plans NFL,
right? But the Chargers get a million primetime games every year because Justin Herbert.
Back-to-back Sunday nighters, I love to see. I guess it's the Chiefs, and it might actually be a flex game. It might have just been added as
could have been. But the Chargers get a million primetime games every single year.
I know.
Since they've got Herbert.
And I will say, for the people that don't listen to the dime ones, the Panthers have one primetime game a year. Took care of business on Thursday night.
Yep.
Just for anyone out there who cares about that.
Who cares about that? That's true. Yeah, it was a big one against the Falcons and stuff too. But listen to the Dimes episode. We'll really break that game down, I'm sure. Do you got anything else?
Not a ton, no. I mean, good vibes this week. Mm-hmm. I'm excited, and we want to add more segments, or not just like, how do I put that? Things like, how we have this new power ranking segment. Yeah. If there's any ideas, because I don't know.
Yeah, I know, and we say it all the time too, and we say we're gonna do these things. It's so, it's just so tough to really dive.
But if there's more that people want to hear about certain things, or us get into different things, we would love to hear that type of stuff, because there's obviously a select audience out there, and we definitely want to apply it to those people that are listening. So
yep, for sure.
I love it.
Yeah. Dunk took our music away for the outro. You might have to see if you can click one of those buttons. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nailed it. All right,
DJ
everybody.
Matty P.
Thank you for listening. We'll be back with you next week.